Thank you very much, Sabina, for this introduction. It's really a great pleasure to be here and to give this introduction. I'm very happy that Personalized Health Informatics Groups organized this workshop. I am certain that we can profit from the knowledge of the industry, but I'm also certain that the industry may actually find it attractive, what SPHN can actually offer, how we can collaborate, and I hope that this is going to be the basis for further collaboration. I understand that this is typically a more technically related workshop, but I would like to give you a short overview what actually SPHN means, what we are doing. SPHN is an infrastructure development program that has been launched by the Swiss government in starting 2017, and the first period is actually going to end soon. Then we are hoping that we will have an extension for further 4 years if the government that does allow us to do so. The SPHN network is very closely working together with the Swiss Institute of Bioinformatics, which is a bit more on the technical side. We may be a bit more on the regulatory governance and project side, but I think this collaboration has been extremely fruitful, particularly in the last couple of 2 years. Now, how are we organized? The SPHN is actually embedded in the Swiss Academy of Medical Sciences. That means in an institution that is independent of any institutions. However, in the National Steering Board, we have all the big institutions, the hospitals, the universities, the ETH domain, and other clinical research entities involved. And it was a pleasure, and particularly in the last year, we were actually able to coordinate many of our efforts in clinical and clinical translational research in Switzerland. We have a management office that corresponds to the Personalized Health Informatics Group, and these two groups are working so closely together that we even have some common working groups that particularly address certain aspects. While we were, on our side, are more involved in governance, data sharing principle, ethical principle, the DCC working groups are more on the technical level. Now we are closely collaborating also with other stakeholders, as you see on the right side, and it's a particular pleasure that we are also working close together with the PHRT, ETH domain, and we learn from common projects, what are really the problems of personalized health and data-driven medicine here in Switzerland. Next slide. What we do know that we have several types of data here available in Switzerland, some of higher quality, some of lesser quality. We do have now a network of clinical data from the big hospitals, and we hope in the next years also to be able to involve smaller hospitals, cantonal hospitals, or even private practices. Many of these data are routine data. They may often be unstructured. They're often in free text form, and we still have a lack of standards, particularly in an environment that corresponds to the federated health system here in Switzerland, where each canton and each institution may have some differences. The same is actually true for the hospital IT infrastructures, and one of the goals is really to harmonize these and make data interoperable, and also make them interoperable to molecular or omics, multi-omics data, so that patient data can be compared to these type of analytical data. In the focus of the next year, we will also like to involve more citizen-related data, lifestyle data, social media data, wearable data, also that require a high degree of processing, but also we try to find ways of make these interoperable and comparable to the hospital data. Traditionally, Switzerland has been really strong, as you know, in clinical research, particularly in clinical cohorts. So that means in data that have a high degree of structure. In many specialized areas, we have really highly structured registries of available data. And it would be quite nice in the future also to somehow be able to compare these structured data to normal hospital data or citizen health data. And I think the purpose of the personalized health network platform is really to make these data interoperable, accessible, and findable. And with findable, I mean fast findable. And last but not least, also reusable. And this is actually quite a challenge to achieve. Next slide, please. So these principles of fair data, findability, accessibility, interoperability, reusability, that actually is not an easy thing. It actually requires that we agree on certain quality standards, on quality, on controlled vocabulary, language for knowledge, representation, exchange formats, and not only between the hospitals, also between the research institutions, and also similar standards also in industry. So I think one of the main purpose of this workshop will really be that we come to a common understanding across domains and across academia and industry for certain of these standards. Next slide, please. So what we would like today is actually to learn from concrete examples of strategies and projects. Where are the gaps? Where are the missing links? And actually in the last 4 years, probably the most important thing we achieved in SPHN was identifying the gaps in Switzerland, try to find at least solutions how we can address these. We would like to discuss today different views, perceptions, challenges, obstacles, share opinions and best practices, and determine important and effective steps to achieve the common goals. And in my view, this workshop should actually be a start of a fruitful collaboration between SPHN and industry. One of the main topics also for the next funding period, we really would like to find ways how we can closer collaborate with industry on this very important topic of personalized health and data-driven medicine. And this workshop should really serve as a basis to find technical solutions to do that. We also have a working group that is looking more at the governance, how we can actually better collaborate with industry, at IP issues, how we can collaborate with industry. But I think the focus of this workshop is probably on the technical side. So we hope as an output for today to have an agreement on certain joint statements and maybe also define an action point plan to achieve the aspired goals. And if we achieve this, I'm more than happy and very happy to take also this input into the National Steering Board of the Personalized Health Network. Thank you very much.